I want you to take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale and slowly release. Looks like your heart was beating really fast there. I want you to calm down. What do I look like coming forward?
Like an alien. You're big. It's green. You have a green skin. You have the top of your head is very, very round and it narrows down. A small slit of a mouth, large, very large eyes that take up like, God, like half of your head, right? Ooh, but no, it's the structure of the eye. It's like there's like two eyes, not like a fly's eyes where it's like multiple eyes, but there's the big eye, and then to the upper corner of each eye, there's an extra bubble, like surface, and there's like a multiple eyelid thing going on. I don't know how to describe it. Like I don't know where it comes from. It's like a vortexy thing that comes. I don't know how to describe that, but small mouth, long body. You're wearing this crazy robe. It's purple, like a Ming the Merciless robe. And you got the big thing in the back. You know how it shoots up in the back, like
Mm-hmm.
the count. You know, and these long, thin arms that are kind of coming out, almost like in a poncho-y like way. From like there's like two kind of cape structures. Like there's an internal A-line dress type of thing happening on the inside, but all the way down to the ground, like a long robe. And then there's an extra cape in the back, and real long. The interior of the cape is like a velvety purple, and you got a black on the outside.
Very good. I have a message for you. Go ahead and receive the message, please.
Okay, I
You,
told you it wasn't going to be so bad, and I told you there were no wrong answers. Now you're showing me the interior of your hand.
what is the
Your
hand? Okay.
your left hand. No, wait. Your left hand. No, your right hand. And it's the in glowing gold. It's the same pattern that I didn't see, but I felt on my forehead when Saturn touched me.
And I want you to ask them now, what does that signify? Ask me.
What does it signify? And you tell me a simple flag, a designation, a symbol that says a name,
Which is?
Saturn.
So the mark on your forehead was the mark of Saturn. The mark in the palm of my hand in this particular form is Saturn as well.
Yes.
And this aspect of myself, what name do I have? Or just ask.
Amar Zenu.
And why ask Armazino or Hank? Why is he showing why am I showing myself like that to you in that particular form?
Why are you showing me yourself to me in this particular form? What particular form? This particular form, this body, this incarnation. He goes, I see what you see, and you see what you see.
And ask him, what year is this on the planet Earth then, please?
3065.
It's in 3065. And this council, why is it called the Orion Council? Why Orion Council, please, in 3065?
Why is this council called the Orion Council in 3065? Because I don't know. That's the name.
Who made the name up?
Who made the name up? It says, listen, kid, who made up the name of the Freemasons? Who decided to call America America? Things get named. That's how we refer to them. That's how we know where to report to. That's how we know where to go.
So how did we go from 2045 to 3065?
Through time.
And at what point did we jump into time when we entered into this hall?
When I went up to the space station part way, the Earth moved underneath me. When I came back, that's where I came back to.
I thought you said 2045.
I did say 2045.
And
It
now
was
you
45 to the best of my understanding.
Oh, but now you've shifted to 3065. Is this correct?
I'm assuming.
Ah, very good.
Unless they're lying to me.
I doubt if they're lying. What would be the purpose? So I want you to ask them, would you like to speak to any of these other entities that are really, really interesting to you?
Yeah, I want to speak to Pinecone.
Okay, just thank Armozino, or Hank.
Just call me Hank.
So tell Hank to hang tight, and ask Hank actually to introduce you to the pine cone person or entity.
I want to meet Pinecone. He goes, okay. He goes, he doesn't have a name. He doesn't exist or interact the way that we will or we do. But if you listen, you can hear he uses a pronoun that I don't. It's a pronoun. That's all I know. It's not a gendered pronoun. I don't know how to sound it out, but I know that it's a pronoun.
We'll ask him what's his purpose in this council.
What is the purpose in any council? We participate. We know. We have life experiences, and by bringing those life experiences into the collective, we share, and that the fundamental knowledge base grows and connections are made. And just as boundaries are overcome by new people of different races who come to a land and have to live together, so too here we come in and learn to define ourselves not as this species, this being, this race, this civilization. We come together so that we can come and integrate more and more into the all.
Ah, very good. In this particular place, as you're approaching the cone, are you on Earth?
Yes, this is Earth.
Ah, very good. So let's go ahead. You want to commune or with this cone, correct?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, very good. And just go ahead and tell me how this takes place. I'm just listening. You may take the.
Amarzino guides me by the hand. Halfway along the journey, the table naturally splits when one has to walk through, as if organically sensing the presence of someone that's going to cross from one space to another. It just kind of parts. And halfway towards where it begins to part, Amar Zenu hands me off, and Anu continues the journey. There must be some physiological reason that Amar Zenu maybe shouldn't be directly close to Pinecone. So Anu brings me up closer, closer, and the pine cone, looms above me. How would I describe? The pine cone is the shape. It's not like the little pine cone pieces.
I
He's
understand.
solid.
I
Yeah.
under.
And his surface, Anu puts my hand on his surface so that I can understand and speak with it. I don't want to say it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It understands. Receive its message, please.
Forever and a day ago, you believed what you believed. Forever and a day from now, you will know what you know. You're beautiful. That's it. And then there's this, like a singing song.
Beautiful.
I feel like I'm almost being transported inside his interior mental space. I hear the song of trees growing. I hear the song of cellular division. I hear cellular division and photosynthesis like violins and cellos in an orchestra. It all's coming together in these organic harmonies.
How does it feel?
Amazing.
And tell me when you've had enough.
There's now, because now I feel like you could fall into it, you know? You just follow that song to the center of the universe and just disappear inside. You
So
fall
let's
back
go.
visibly.
Yeah, very good. Fall back into the room. And I want you to head back. First, I want you to give a feeling of gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Excellent. And I want you to approach Arma Zeno again, Hank, and ask
Yeah.
how come he couldn't take you all the way, just out of curiosity.
As you know, he says your instincts were correct. He goes, there's just some protocols, natural protocols that need to be protected. Something with the, not just the um, skin oils that Amar Zunu, it's definitely that Amar Zunu's species would be non conducive to the life of the pinecone entity, not vice versa. You know, it's not that they could both give each other a disease. It's that Amar Zunu's physiology, his natural, even his, odor would be uh, problematic. Not deadly problematic, but somehow uncomfortable or distressing or clashing to the.
Understood. And what vibration, what density or dimension, if you ask, or Hank, ask him, what is this place considered to be?
The 11th dimension.
Very good.
And he tells me something. He says, "You are the 11th dimension."
You, as in,
I guess me.
ask him directly.
No, yeah, me. I am the 11th dimension. But I may be misinterpreting.
Just ask him. Well, don't misinterpret it. That's why, once again, ask him. Can he clarify, please? And he will.
Okay. Simultaneously, I am of and the 11th dimension, just like as anything in the 11th dimension is and is simultaneously in the 11th dimension. There's a teaching there beyond, the confines of, you know, my paleo language. You know what I mean? I don't know how to bridge the gap in my.
And I want you to ask, how is it possible to ask? Well, just ask him. Does he know what you and I are doing right now? And I know they know, but just ask him, and let's just keep it official.
Do you know what we're doing right now? Yes.
So ask him, how is it possible that you can bilocate via being induced by Hank or by its other expression.
Just as, yes. Okay. Okay. I can't understand that. Can you simplify it for me?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, he says. It's like he's taking a moment to pause to think how to integrate it into my words.
Very good. And I want you to I'd like you to take a long, slow, deep breath once again and slowly release it and feel the relaxation move through your body as your vibration rises. We won't be here much longer.
Fundamentally, the first thing to understand is that it's possible because it's possible. It's just the way that it is. Just like an electrical signal can travel through a wire because of the nature of physics and the science of electricity, so too can we do what we can do. Just as I can conceive of myself in a dream state as being another thing. I am not this body. I am not confined to this body. I am not even confined to one existence. No one is.
Very good. And I'd like you to ask him what is the nature of channeling when human beings raise their vibrations to speak to these levels, or the nature of this bilocation that you're doing now via induction. And put it to him exactly, use the same words, he'll understand his old self.
Okay. What is the nature of channeling?
Not channeling, I want you to say guided visualization. I apologize.
Well,
We'll
that's
get
on you, Hank.
I'm sorry, but we'll get back to that later. We're going to start with guided visualization so you can understand what you're doing right now. And then I want you to hear it from that source.
What is the nature of guided visualization? The nature of guided visualization are permissions, small little permissions leading you to a greater answer. But no one can lead anyone where they don't want to go. The self brought being led to a nasty place, a wrong place for them, would naturally resist. So the guided visualization, it's a trick of the mind. You're being, you're allowed by the guide to have some place to shift the responsibility. You don't have to fear that, oh, I can't do it because someone's already telling you that they're doing it for you, though there is no separation between entities. So you're just guiding yourself.
Absolutely. Is that not what I told you?
That's pretty good.
Is that not what I told you?
That's what you told me because that's your Amarzina, man.
And I want you to ask Armazino the particular method that I use in rhyme to get you here. Ask him, when did he develop that?
When did you develop the rhyming structure system? 1992.
And that was through me then when I first started making up
That's what he said. That's what you said. 1992.
very good. I mean, we just went back years, but very good. I mean, does this help you at all, CW?
Yeah.
Because my mouth is closed and I'm not saying anything. And I'm just asking you questions. And if, obviously you're not afraid. And you gave permission for yourself. Remember when I told you to give yourself permission to be
Mm.
able to?
Oh, yeah. No, I get it. I'm learning. I get it.
Very good. Well, we'd like to come back later. We only have 10 more minutes right now. And so I guess I'll go ahead and ask now. You may ask now, what is the nature of channeling?
What is the nature of channeling? Answer incoming. Here we go. The nature of channeling is to be of service to another. The nature of channeling is to allow another the use of you, but the you that you're attached to, the you that doesn't matter, the you that will fade away in time. The nature of channeling is a natural, organic system, the fastest way for information to travel. Tesla knew this.
Excellent. And how do we know when it's been manipulated? Is it possible to be manipulated uh, when uh, when a person is channeling by something that would be what we would consider negative?
No, because the incoming signal, by definition, can never be stronger than the internal source, right? Two stations operating on the same radio frequency, one 10 feet away from a receiver, one 100 miles from the receiver. It's only when the 10-minute receiver turns off or goes down that the other vibration could possibly be heard at that frequency. So the stronger the source closest to the electricity system, the spinal system, the nervous system always control.
So, is it possible for what we would consider a negative entity to trick someone and give false information in a channeling?
Only if they chose to be tricked.
And how would one go about choosing to be tricked?
That's the nature of choice. That's the nature of free will. We do it to ourselves so often, but that never overrides the rules of the road. That never overrides the fundamental functions of the universe and of the life force.
Ah, very good. And safe and shifting back to guided visualization, whenever I'm doing a guided visualization session, or and I'm doing it with someone who sees a relative who has passed on, who is no longer physically incarnated, or what have you, what do you feel about ask him, Armozino, what does he feel about that particular type of communication? Because I know you yourself, CW, had questions about that. When someone comes through who's no longer physically incarnated, could you explain that to CW, please?
Yes, you must understand the entity life happens within forms and structures. Existence happens. When the body passes, there is a change and transition. There's a floating away. In the beginning, some communication can happen, but you must understand that as time goes on, the energy becomes more and more diffuse, and the energy becomes more and more indistinguishable from memories of an individual, videotape recordings of an individual, uh, imagined structures of an individual. And you must tell Hank to know that just as growth will occur over time, still there are things about the nature of this that he will learn.
Excellent. I look forward to it. So whenever I've done sessions before, and Dolores Cannon, she comes forward. And she's come and the energy entity of Dolores Cannon, and she speaks. What is that?
He says, that's a special case because having studied and having worked the pathways, her ability to maintain her pocket of energy continues and stays together for longer than the average pair.
Ah, very good. And the reason being, we are under the understanding that the physical planet Gaia in our year 2016, 2017, in that timeline, that we are shifting to a higher vibration, and there are lots of entities that are speaking and communicating with us. Could you explain that to CW, please?
He goes, okay, okay, I'm getting interference.
And take a long, slow, deep breath, please. And feel the relaxation move through your body. We have 4 more minutes here.
Just as we can bilocate through time, we must remember that there is no time. Everything is happening simultaneously. The
Yes.
growth is no more further away from the caveman than it is from the spaceman. Everything exists in the now in an eternal growth and change and stretching towards the light.
But in our linear expression, because we have chosen to have a physical experience with opposition and duality and polarity within it, we perceive things much different than how it's perceived in what we would say the forever moment of now, or in 3065, or even 2045. So we ask things from our perception.
The limitations of perception are merely that, the limitations of a limitation, the contracting of oneself into a singular entity where we experience things like time. It's impossible to define that which is infinite in the scope of the narrow or the perceived. So, yes, it'll appear that now is markedly different than 100 years ago. But at the most fundamental level, voices come through with the same regularity, and ascension occurred for people in the year one, as ascension will occur when the earth has been baked dead as a cue ball when the sun goes supernova. There is no now, there is only now.
Very good. And we are very grateful and very thankful for all the information that you have given us. My desire tonight was to bring CW to these greater truths, these greater understandings. We will be back. We will be back for sure. And is it possible that we can come and commune with you again?
Absolutely. Follow the sign.
Oh, very good. And would you consider what we're doing a positive thing for our particular timeline for sharing this with the masses?
What's not to love?
Absolutely. All right, very good. Uh, Arma, Zeno, Anu, and everyone there in this council, the Orion Council, we would like to thank you for the opportunity of coming forward. And we are very grateful. And we are now going to make our exit. And so let's go ahead and drift and float away from the scene with much love and thanks for all the information that all the entities there have given us. and we are very, very grateful